Superman 2025 got everyone up in arms. There is a divide. Clearly, it's either they stuck with Snyder, or they stuck with Gunn, or they like DC movies, or they don't like DC movies. I don't know. But one of the biggest gripes I've seen this. Do it, guy.
That is where you've always been wrong.
Dude sounds like a little bitch, bro.
Do we need to react like that to Spider-Man to Superman? Do we really need to react to Superman like that? This is a really compelling speech. People, I think, were divided about a bunch of different directions that they were going with Superman. This is one thing that they did to change a little bit, was give him like some kind of moment to say how he's like them. And it's funny, this guy's reacting. His name is Brigo Nader 67, so he doesn't think I'm just biting off his stuff. I'm using him as an example. Go ahead and check him out. And
I'm as human as anyone.
You're a god.
I get scared. I wake up every morning, and despite
Superman gets scared, right? He gets scared.
In front of the other.
And that's the thing. It's even like touching to even hear that part. Like, people are sitting there mad and raging. I hope they're not raging bad as this. But you know, he sits there and says, like, basically, I'm vulnerable just like you guys people. It doesn't matter. And he's like, oh, you're a god. Come on. Gods can't feel pain. They can't hurt. They can't have emotions. That's the whole thing. People always find hard to identify with Superman as a comic book story. It's because how strong he is, and it's not believable. He could beat everybody. At least this finally humanized him. And there are moments in other movies, I believe, too, like Man of Steel, when he's getting things thrown at his head and stuff. When he goes in to get locked up and they arrest him, he could break out easily and go. But it shows emotion-wise, like he'll play along. He'll do what he needs to do for the right thing. So this is not the first time they try to humanize Superman to a extent where you could relate to him as a human. And I think that's one of the best things you can do, because it's hard for people to relate. Just like Spider-Man is really easy for people to relate to, because it's easy. You don't have Spider-Man powers, but you get what he's going through. Superman, we never really get that much. And with this speech, I thought it was very good. I think it was even touching to see the frustration that he had against Lex. Lex doesn't believe, he believes like this kid. Like, he's just a god. Why are you here? What are you giving us problems for? And he says, I do what you guys do every day. I'm not perfect. I get out of bed like you guys. I took my, step, whatever he says, something like that. And it's true. This seems to be one of the bigger debates. I don't know why about Superman 2025. There's a million other debates, don't get me wrong. And I'm sure I can agree with some I don't agree with. Overall, I mean, my opinion, I like the movie, but some people just hate it. And a lot of times it gets into the whole Snyder war, James Gunn war. It gets silly, but let's hear a little bit more of this. I have to hear it.
And
Dude, Superman, come on.
Choices I can. I screw up all the time. That is being human.
You're not a human. You're a god.
And him saying that he screws up all the time is true. Superman's not perfect. Much as we portray him in our eyes that this is a perfect specimen, we wouldn't have a million comics, right? Sometimes I tell people that it's hard for me to get in Superman comics when they're written well. And it's usually when he shows that vulnerable side. Because he's showing he cares. Like, he's like, you're a god. Come on. This guy's mad that Superman is ranting about feeling human. Like, he has things he's going through, man, and it's tough.
And someday, I hope
Superman can't compare himself to humans.
That it's yours too.
Oh, that's beautiful. But none of this matters, you patronizing.
Exactly. Lex is right in this moment. He is right.
You. If not today, then.
And of course, James Gunn ruins this whole.
So they know he's mad that James Gunn ruined the scene. This could be a whole Snyder guy. We don't know. But the whole speech is just, I think, delivered great. I think it's at a perfect time. It doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't ruin the scene. It's one of those moments, too, really, when the villain gets back and he's, oh, you can't go. Let's say Loki yelling at Hulk, like, you monster or whatever. And then Hulk grabs him and smashes him around in the building. And he says, puny God. And it was just a great moment. And I think they were going for a moment like that. Not saying they're copying Avengers. Saying there's a lot of moments in movies where the villain's getting their big talk and they just take them out. And this is what happened in that scene. He's like, oh, James Gunn ruined it. Well, first of all, you didn't like it in the first place. So I don't know how anything got ruined. But it's not a whining speech. It's actually a very gratifying speech. And I think it actually helps the movie a lot. And I think it helps a lot of fans that like Superman and like to see that he is not perfect. And he knows it. And for us, comic book fans, movie fans, superhero movie fans, but actually just a movie genre. Like, if you just like movies, you're a movie buff and you don't read comics, you only watch superhero movies because it's a movie and that's it. I think this was incredibly relatable to them. Someone that doesn't know much about Superman besides he's a blue, yellow, red guy. He flies. He's bulletproof. They know that. He saves the day. He goes and picks up people. He's been around for decades and decades. But this kind of gave him a little bit of a growth in one speech, and it was very minor. It wasn't too long, but it gave him enough where everybody was like good. Like I saw people get like emotional during this. I get a little bit of feeling in it. Like he's fed up at this point in the movie. He just let me be. Like, dude, like he's like I deal with shit. Like I go through things. You sit there and act like I'm this, pain in your side, and you're still at the end of the day after me, and I'm just trying to do what I can do best. I'm like you. I'm just trying to be the best I can. And that's sums it all up. Superman may not be human like us. He says, you're an alien. This guy's like, he's right. Lex Luthor's right. He may be an alien. He may be bulletproof, but he still has feelings and emotions. And when it comes down to it, no matter what you are, villain, you want to be the best villain you could be. When you're a good guy, you want to be the best good guy you could be. And the nature is you want to be the best person you can be. And you do screw up. And there's things you do wrong. And that's what it all comes down to. A Superman knows he's not perfect. And I think this explained it thoroughly well. His feelings in just this little 40-second monologue. Well, monologue kind of. Lex interrupted a few things. And then, Lex flips it out, and he's like, you can't do this, blah, 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 and I'm gonna, but it shows all the rage bent up. It's basically like a troll thing that hates, I don't know, like maybe a big celebrity that's not celebrity. Let's say someone that has acolytes, like a basketball player that's really, really good and stuff, and they're like, you suck, you're just always gonna suck. And it's like, dude, look, I'm just like you. I might be really good at playing basketball, but I'm just like you. I try my hardest every day. I do the best I can. I have faults, and I just try. And then the guy gets in his face. It doesn't matter, because no matter how many times you try, and then we get Crypto running it. That's basically the Superman speech, but it's just different. It's delivered different through a superhero that's believed to be unbreakable, bulletproof, can fly, laser eyes, freezing breath. He has all these things, but at the end of the day, he's pretty much human. We're not saying human as biologically. We're talking about emotions. He's human. And we have fans like this that lose their mind and screaming at their TV. I hope this is bait. I hope this hooked me and got me in the bait. Because I hope this is bait, him just trying to get people to watch his views. I came across this because I always thought the speech was really done well in this. And I know, again, turns sometimes to a Snyder versus James Gunn thing, and I think that's really stupid when it does that. So some Snyder fans will go straight up say they don't like it no matter what. They can't do like anything, usually, with James Gunn. The Superman movie, I think, did a good job, and I think it did a lot of parallels to make it more approachable. It didn't seem so distant, and some people may like their Superman like that. Like Man of Steel seems very off, not connectable in a way, like very not in the same world. It's dark, it's different type of suit. This felt like we're like not ground based, but based the furthest we can be, the shortest we could be, the strongest we could be, to making Superman as much as relatable as possible. And I think that's what they're trying to do. And I think that's what makes you care. You see him and Lois Lane's argument in the beginning. There's conflict, there's things, there's feelings, there's a lot of stuff going on. But at the end of the day, does that ruin the movie? Or even if you don't like the movie, is that a key factor that made you not like it? The fact that he just he is human like you, because he has the emotions of a human. He deals with things that he doesn't want to deal with, and he sucks at it sometimes. Is that a bad part of the movie? Like, I understand not liking this or not liking that of the storyline, but this speech is what made you upset.
Scene with a joke. You see, the problem with this scene right here is that Superman is trying to level with humans when this guy is literally a god, and it doesn't make any sense. You look at Superman, this dude is a god. DC superheroes are gods. They are.
That's the bad thing, is a lot of people don't like DC superheroes because they're hard to relate because they're gods. So that's why overwhelmingly Marvel is more popular than DC. I don't got the stats right now to go against or go off, but I've seen it a bunch of times where they go back and forth in comic book sales, because sometimes Marvel's like trash sometimes, and DC's trash, but Marvel's far from good comics wise. But we know movie wise, Marvel's been very successful, and I think a lot of people again relate. But then when they do try to do something off different, Marvel fans are worried, is this going to be done right? Because they've been doing this style right, but then we're going to go to outer space and we're going to have a rocket raccoon and a tree, but then somehow we got it to work. And then, it's just different. And I think with this being DC in a world full of gods, and it's hard to sit there and be like, why aren't they winning every Why are the Justice League just saving the day every day and it's over? Almost like the boys. It's like, why are they shouldn't they should be more corrupt and evil because they're not saving the day. But they're all good people. So why aren't they just doing so? It's because we have inner conflict, we have problems, we have things like that. So even if you're a god, just like Thor, I could bring for example in Marvel, you still got feelings. It doesn't matter. You could cry. Thor, I don't know how many times you could call him a bitch or whatever we want, has broken down. I think it's one of probably the strongest arcs in MCU history. I think is Thor's one of his best. Especially going to go into Doomsday as one of his best. Because not only that helps him, Loki helped him too as well, story-wise. I've seen the brother having connection to that in moments. But I think with him getting so mad that that's not what these characters are for, it's like they're not just meant to be made into a statue and just be mesmerized by them. They're meant to us to feel things. There's a reason why we have t-shirts and we put them on. Because we love that character and we feel something when we, see that character. And we pick up that comic or whatever. And there's days, it makes me even a little sentimental when you're little and you put on that shirt and you feel like you're a superhero. That's what it's about, man. That's what it's about. It's about relating to them in some way. And it is a lot of way in their actions, how they are, the way they think, but all those are emotions, and humans have emotions too.